There's a mic. There's a sound.
Hello.
Guys not talking.
Hello. It's one of the weird
Where?
with your phone.
I don't hear yourself. Hello? Hello? What is this phone?
Started. It has started and 050 to stop. Live listener started. Hello.
This is what I hear. My money.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Testing the microphone. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Chats. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me see your emojis. Let me see your emojis. Good evening, everybody. If you're live, please share the link so that others that are not here yet can join in. Let me see your emojis if you can hear me, Mr. Ogo. Mr. Ogo, let me see your emoji. All right. So you can hear me. So, good evening. I'm so happy you are here. Whether you're joining from your living room, from your office after a long day, or you're squeezing this into your busy schedule between family responsibilities, thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. So, my name is Antonia Jindu, and I believe one of the greatest privileges and one of the greatest challenges we'll have is raising teenagers. So, today we'll be talking about um, today we'll be doing the question and answer session. Okay, we'll be simply be talking about letting go without losing control. Letting go without losing control. So, while we wait for others, can if you're live, let me see your emojis. Comment in the put your drop your comments in the comment section. Let me see that you are there. I'm only seeing Mr. Go. Drop your comments. If you are here with me, let me see your comments, okay? All right. Okay, I'm so happy to have you all here. Uh, Last week we had a very awesome time. So today we'll be doing majorly a question and answer session. Okay. So our question and answer session is basically just ask your questions and let's give answers. This is a circle or community for parents and teachers and everyone that handles teenagers. So let's discuss. Just drop your questions and let's answer them. If you have a question, just drop in the comment section. Thank you, Mr. Ogo. I see your thumb up. Thank you so much. All right. I'm waiting for our question to any question. Any question. Okay. Before our questions come in, let's discuss. Okay. Okay, so we'll be talking about letting go without losing control. Okay. Now, most of the conflicts at this stage. So the idea of this meeting is to help our teenagers grow into independence without losing our relationship with them, not losing our relationship along the way while we are trying to build connections with our teenagers. So our core message for this meeting is that or something we should notice or something we should take seriously is that at this stage of their lives, it's not that about dishing out rules and plenty rules, because it is a power struggle. Who gets to decide? Okay, at this time they are very very tough. Want to be very tough for you to, I mean, tough to rules. Teenagers are always very tough to rules at this stage. Any When they see any rule, they want to react to it. So it's not about just releasing rules and releasing rules. If not, it's going to be conflict every time. So um you have the urge to protect, but then there's a need for autonomy. When I mean there's a need for autonomy, there's a need for a balance, there's a need for a middle ground. So aside just putting so much pressure on them and making plenty rules that they will end up not keeping, because teenagers are very wonderful people. If you're not careful with them, they don't want to keep to rules. So at that particular time, they are rebelling against every rule that is being released. So it's not a time to start to drop in plenty rules. So the best thing is to understand them and have a middle ground. Have a middle ground. No, um, where let you both agree. If not, it will be like two elephants fighting. So you should be rooted in the years of so the period of protecting them should be rooted in the years of primary decision making for your child's safety and choices. You're making the choices for them. You are doing everything for them. But once they start becoming teenagers, this is their stage of, this is an autonomy stage. It's a stage of real developmental needs So things will begin to push your boundaries, begin to push those boundaries that you are setting for them. They want to build their own identity. They want to understand themselves. They want to know why these rules are being set. Why are these rules set? If you just like someone, they put something to barricade you and you don't know what that thing is for, you want to push it to pass. So that's just how it is with them. So at this stage, they will want to push every boundaries that you've released for them. So it's not a time of setting plenty rules, but a time of helping them understand why those rules are being placed. So that they don't just want to defy your rules. I've been with students in a boarding school, and you see them always wanting to break the rules. It's a normal thing. I also attended the boarding school. We're always wanting to break the rules. But that's because, but when we left school, we got to understand that it was very foolish of us to want to be breaking rules, because those rules were even there to help us. They were even there to make things easier for us. So that is how it is. This is a time to explain to them why this is that, because they want to know. They are very inquisitive. They want to know. So why this happens that they need to always ask you questions and want to know why those rules are set. They are developing mentally. Their brain is under construction. So according to medical terms, their prefrontal cortex, okay, and meaning their sense of judgment, sense of planning, and everything, they are still rewiring. Okay, they are still rewiring, and for some people it's at different speed. They are still being rewired. They are not like those very little babies that you just tell, do this, do that, do that. As at this time now, their brain is rewiring, their brain is restructuring. Oh, I can do this. And maybe when they see their mates doing something different from what you've told them to do, and they don't even know why they shouldn't do those things, their brain begins to restructure. To say, okay, I can actually do this and nothing would happen. Okay, so that's why those rules you set for them, you have to ensure that you explain why those rules are set. Okay, you should explain why those rules are being placed. If you are still with me, let me see your emojis. If you are still with me, if you are still with me, let me see your emojis. Hello. If you are still online, let me see your emojis. Please comment with your sticker so that I can know that you're still with me. Okay. Comment with your stickers. Let me know that you are still with me. All right. Can you still see me? My light is out. All right. So as I was saying, why these teenagers are fighting against every rule you set is that their brain is still under construction. And then number two, they are wired to seek independence. At that stage, they are seeking independence. And so the testing boundaries is biological, it's only normal. It's not a personal thing. It's not that my child is like this, or it's just my child being funny. No, it's just a normal thing. It's not a personal thing, it's just a normal thing for every one of them at that stage. It's how identity gets built at this age. So this is how they begin to build their identity. Okay. And then another thing is that every control you are trying to control begins to backfire, except you become firm with them. Every form of control begins to backfire. This pardon me, trying to reach out to. All right. So every form of control you are trying to do at this stage, if you are not careful, begins to backfire. So over control in adolescent stage is linked to more risk taking. Is linked to more risk taking and secrecy. Okay, and weaker trust. Their trust begins to weaken because they don't even know who to tell that would not judge them. They don't even know who to speak to concerning what is bothering them that wouldn't judge them. So too much control at this stage is not necessary. This is the stage when you need to make them your friend. This is the stage when you need to be their friend, you need to be their therapist, you need to speak to them often because at this stage they need someone to speak with. So now, letting go isn't giving up, it's shifting from the manager to the consultant. You are no longer a manager. When you change diaper, you tell them when to eat, tell them when to brush their teeth, tell them when to arrange their books, tell them when to do the assignments. That's the manager stage. After the manager stage, you enter the consultant stage. The consultant stage now is when you are giving you are now the one telling the person, how do I put it now? Instead of saying, go to your room, go and do your assignment, you say, have you been able to get this done? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you fixed your bed? Like that. Instead of saying, go and make your bed, have you fixed it? Is your bed ready? Don't you think that if you do this like this, it will be good for you? So this is a consultant stage. You are now like their therapist. You are not the one to give them advice on what to do concerning a particular situation. Um, no more putting pressure on them to do those things. And you see that it becomes easy to make them do those things without pressure. So the managing stage is when you tell them you have to do your homework. But the consultant stage is, what's your plan for your room? Or what's your plan for your homework today? Have you done your homework? Instead of saying, um, go and go and arrange your bed, you say, what's your plan for your bed? Are you not going to fix it? Okay. So this is the consultant stage. Instead of making decisions for them at this stage, they are no longer babies that wear diapers. Instead of making decisions for them, this stage is when you think it through help them think it through. Instead of saying, okay, when they come to you and say, mommy or daddy, I'm emotionally drained, or I'm exhausted, instead of telling them, go and drink water, go and do this one, it's not because you are thinking about, what am I not taking care of you, am I not giving you food? No, 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 you don't need to do that. What you are supposed to do now is, so how do I help you scale through this process you are in? Or where do I come in? What would you like me to do to make things easier for you? So you are no longer a manager at this stage, you are more of a consultant. Okay. So the managing for the manager controls the outcomes. For the manager will want to control what's next. What will if you say, what if I allowed the child to do what he wants and then he messes things up? Allow them to mess those things up, and then they will learn from their mistakes. Stop at this teenage stage. You are not to help them make decisions. Like, you as a parent, you want to make decisions for them, but don't make it seem like you are taking the decisions for them. Make it seem like they are choosing for themselves. Okay. Allow them feel like they are making their own choices. Instead of saying you are going to read law, you're going to read medicine. So what do you think about reading law? You are very good with reading books. You're very good at arguments. Don't you think reading law will be good for you? You see, those two things sound differently. So instead of making decisions for them at this stage, allow them to make their decisions, because at the end of the day, if that child should read that law and it doesn't go well, you the parents will end up taking the blame for it. So just allow them make their own decisions. Don't tell them you must do this like this. No, this is their decision stage. This is the stage where they begin to find their identity. Say, Tolu or Bola, you are very good with fine arts. I think if you do theater art, or you do fine art, it will suit you best. That is you suggesting. And because they are still kids, or they are still babies that don't know that they are babies or growing babies, they would they will say, for my mommy to notice this, it means it will be fine for me. And then they'll end up doing that thing that you wanted them to do, and doing it with all their heart, because they know they are doing it to please you. You see, there's a difference between both things. So quit being the manager and be their consultant. One other thing is that rules enforced through fear. For the manager, they enforce rules through fear. That's what I want to say. They enforce the rules through fear. They want to put that fear in the child. After all, I'm still your father. I want to tell you what to do and what you shouldn't do. But for the consultant, you set boundaries. As you're setting the boundaries, you are letting the child know that you are respected. I respect you and I respect your boundaries. Okay. So now for the practical shifts, what are we going to try this week? One of the challenges we'll be taking on this week. One of the challenges we'll be taking on this week is that you should pick your battles. Number one is that you should pick your battles. Choose what you want to do. Pick your battles. Ask safety issues or preference issues. Save your firmness for safety. Save your firmness. Don't act firm this week. For this week, don't act firm. Just ask safety instead of putting pressure or trying to be firm. Try to try to give them room to make choices. That's what I want to say. Pick your battles. Don't Not everything that will make you want to shout at every point in time. You want to shout. Pick the things you should shout for. There are some things you just allow them do it. Let me see what you can do. Okay. So when the child is already getting to the edge, you're not saying no. This you shouldn't have done this way. Do it this way. So now you are now their consultant. Not Remember what we said earlier. You're not their consultant, not their manager. You tell them do this way. Don't do it that way. Okay. And then number two is that questions over commands. Questions over commands. Let's ask. Let's instead of putting commands like um you must do this, you must do that, you must do this before I get. Put questions. Questions like, what time makes sense to you? Okay, we want to do this today. What time do you think we should do this? It helps to make the child feel comfortable and know that okay, we're in this together. Instead of putting enforcing rules, just make them feel like they're part of the conversation. I remember, okay, a better way to understand this is during, I know there's this family tradition we used to have in my house. Instead of a particular time of celebration, something like Christmas, Easter, and all that, instead of my mom saying we're going to cook this today, she would give everybody the chance to pick a paper and write what you would like for us to cook for that day and what kind of drink we should take. So, pardon me. So, give them the opportunity to be a part of what is going on, not enforcing your rules, not commands, but dropping questions. How do you think we should do this? Look at what is going on. How do you see it? What do you think we should do about it? That alone helps a lot than enforcing rules. Okay. Then number three, separate boundary from relationship. Separate boundary from relationship. Hold the line and stay warm, but at once hold the line. Don't let them cross the line. Hold the line for them. Draw the line that if once this child crosses this line, then I will not show, I will not bring down my hammer. Okay? While you are holding the line, you should stay warm, stay calm, still be cool with them. Okay? Even as you are still making them feel at home, still draw the line. Don't let there be some rules that you place that once this child crosses the line, this is what he gets. So the child already knows that, oh, my mom has given me or my dad has given me the liberty to do what I want, but I must not cross the line. I must not mess up. I must not do this particular thing because this would make her or him, my dad or my mom, sad. So as much as you are crossing the line for them, be warm, be calm with them. Okay, so that's what I meant by doing both at once. Be warm with them and at the same time be their um consultant, like I said earlier. Okay, number four, let natural consequences teach. Natural consequences, let them know what it feels like. If they want to jump over the cliff, sometimes just allow them. Let them go close to the cliff and see what it looks like down there, and you see that they will return. Okay, let them experience natural consequences. I didn't say you should allow your children to fall into danger. What I'm trying to say is that allow them see the what is behind what they are going to what is going to happen if they actually cross that thing that you are warning them against. After our last session last week, someone reached out to me and she was talking about, we're talking about, um, okay, this question was asked that how do you uh, discuss with your child, or how do you discuss with a child that is already sexually active, like how do you handle that? And then one I received a phone call from a lady. She said one of the things she said was that telling a child that coke is sweet will not satisfy their curiosity until they taste it. So that is how it is with so you don't need to be telling the child don't be sexually active, don't be sexually active, don't do this, don't do that. Show the child what and what will the person will experience if he or she eventually falls into that temptation. She mentioned that while growing up, she was a victim of, or she was a child born out of wedlock, out of teenage pregnancy. And she explained so many ordeals the mother had to go through as a teenager that got pregnant. And so seeing that now, it became clear to her not to fall into such situation again, seeing what her mom has already gone through. So while you are trying to explain to your children, open their eyes to see the consequences behind those things. Don't just tell them don't do this. Tell them why they shouldn't do it. Tell them the things they would the the traps that are in that thing, why they should avoid it. Because at this stage is an identity stage, is a stage of belonging, is a stage of wanting to know more. So don't allow them learn about it outside. Be the one to show them what it feels like, it entails, so that they will know that, oh, my parents are preaching against sexual abstinence, because if I should indulge, I'll get pregnant out of wedlock, and getting pregnant during in my teenage stage is going to be a terrible thing for me. Is having to give birth in my young body, and caring for a child when my mental state is not yet balanced. All those things, they should understand it, so that they will know the problems that will come, or the consequences that will come if they make that mistake. So let natural consequences teach. Low stakes struggle now builds resilience for later. Low stakes struggle now builds resilience for later, meaning that when they understand what they are in for, or what is in on that thing for them, they wouldn't want to partake. Just like for a child that gets to school and is being pressured into use of substances, or like illicit drugs, when they know what is in there, when you've already explained they already know what and what they will expect, they won't want to fall into such temptation. So any other person that falls into such temptation, that means it's his own choice, because he had already understood what is in it for him. Just like I'll use the Bible as a reference. God already told Adam that don't eat from these fruits because it is the tree of good and evil, and he didn't. But because he didn't explain it like that to his wife, she went ahead and was tempted by the devil, and she fell for it. Said no, and when you eat it, your eyes will be open. Your eyes will be open to see that God has been telling you lies. And because she was not so much aware she didn't get clarity, she fell for it. So we should show them the consequences so that they will avoid it. Lastly, they should stay curious, not reactive. Stay curious, not reactive. Like when they bring some situations to you, instead of reacting. So, for example, we had situations of children that are being bullied in school. Instead of reacting, so your mate is beating you in school, and you're coming back home to come and report. You cannot fight back. No. Instead of reacting, stay curious. Ask them questions like, tell me more about it. Tell me more about it. Why, how does, what does, tell me about why that matters. Instead of escalating the situation, try to find out why, what the child is actually going through. Sometimes this bullying in secondary schools is not just someone beating a child. It might even be his own mates, his or her own mates, speak speaking ill of the person and making him or her feel very uncomfortable in class. So bullying can come in different ways. So instead of saying so you cannot talk back, you cannot do back, it's better you just tell them, tell me more about it, let me know what's, let me understand, explain to me. Okay. So now, let's assume your 15-year-old wants to take a walk to a friend's house alone at night for the first time. Every part of you wants to say no. Every part of you wants to say no. This is our talking session now. This is our question and answer session now. Every part of you wants to say no when your child, your 15-year-old wants to take a walk to a friend's house alone at night for the first time. Okay. So now let's talk through it. If you had such a situation, what are your underlying fear? Number one, what's the actual risk versus the felt risk? Number two, and number three, what's a middle ground option? Let me hear from us. Let me hear from us. Yes. Anybody wants to say something? Anybody wants to say something? Okay, I'm waiting. Let's assume your 15-year-old wants to take a walk. What's your fear concerning that walk that child wants to take in the evening that is making you want to say no? What's your fear? The one, and what is the risk versus what's the actual risk versus the risk you are fearing? What is it? That is the question. Then what's the middle ground option? Now we should take note that our job isn't to prevent every mistake. It is to make sure that they know they can come to you after a mistake. Our job is not to control every mistake. Make sure that our kids can come to us after a mistake. All right. All right. I'm waiting. Can you hear me? So I was asking a question like, if your 15-year-old says they want to take a walk, what will be our reactions? Want to take a walk to a neighbor's house in the evening? What will be your reaction? What is your actual risk? What is the actual risk versus the fact that comes to your mind that makes you want to say no to their request? Yes. Yes, I'm listening. Any question? This meeting ends in 10 minutes, so let's respond. Let me get our responses. If you're still with me, let me see your emojis. Thank you. Thank you. So we have just so by 6:50 this meeting will be ending. We have 8 minutes. So any questions? Triple questions? Any questions? Mm, I hope we gained value from the meeting. Well done. So we have like 4 minutes more to ask our questions before the meeting is over. Any more questions? Okay. In the absence of none, in the absence of no question, other question. Okay, 3 more minutes. Let's just wait if we have another question. All right. Since there's no more questions, I think that's all for today. Thank you all for showing up. Do have a lovely evening. Should we still wait till time's off? All right. Oh, I'm seeing your lovely emojis. God bless you. Thank you so much for showing up. Plenty love, plenty love, plenty love. All right. Our time is up. All right. Thank you so much for being around. Do have a lovely evening. Bye.